new chapter for TNT. We're red, ready, and responsible. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
Man is it in your hand. PNM is the plan. Ready, hold it steady. We are one.
Good afternoon, PNM family.
PNM.
Please allow me to stand on the existing protocols already acknowledged. It is both an honor and a deep privilege for me to introduce our next speaker. Many of you know her as the MP for Tobago East, but she is also a country girl, a boss chef, a friend to many, and our mother.
PNM.
She takes deep pride in her work and has committed herself fully to the service of her constituency and to the broader development of our nation. She first came into the public eye in 2015, and she has proven herself to be a hard worker. She travels between Trinidad and Tobago numerous times a week to ensure that the people of Tobago East have a voice. And yet, she always makes time for us when we need her the most. She has proven time and time again that she is more than capable of being our MP. She shows that leadership is not just about power, but it is also about grace, forgiveness, purpose, communication, integrity, and most importantly, honesty. And she does this with an unwavering strength and a heart full of care. Please join me in warmly welcoming a woman of true dedication, resilience, and love for her people, the current and next Member of Parliament for Tobago East, Ayanna Webster-Roy.
PNM.
PNM people, good evening.
PNM.
Tobago East family, good evening. My Tobago West family, good evening.
PNM.
My political leader, Dr. the Honorable Keith Christopher Rowley.
PNM.
Deputy political leader of the Tobago, of the party and the Tobago Council, Mr. Ansel Dennis.
PNM.
My sister in service, the Honorable Shamfa Kojo Lewis, next Member of Parliament for Tobago West. One is enough. Minority Leader Kelvin Morris. My fellow Roxborough girl, a young lady whom I'm well pleased, Shanae, good evening. I didn't expect my children to come up and endorse me. And that was a humbling experience. To see the 3 children in Trinidad and Tobago who would have sacrificed their mom the most, who would have given up time with their mom the most, come and endorse me for another term, that is the greatest honor and blessing.
PNM, PNM.
PNM people, on many occasions I've been asked, why you still fighting up Ayanna? Why you still putting yourself through this? And I often tell people, I'm not doing it for me. I'm not doing it for fame. I'm not even doing it because of the party. I'm doing it for the children of Trinidad and Tobago. And just like Mr. London would have sacrificed years with his children, just like Mr. Calendar would have sacrificed years with his children, just like I saw my political leader sacrifice years with his children for the greater good of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, for the greater good of every boy and every girl in Trinidad and Tobago.
PNM.
I would continue to stand in the gap. I would continue to fight. I would continue to deliver, because I know that in Ayanna Webster-Roy, you can find a representative, a leader you can trust. You can find a representative, a leader you can depend on. You can find a representative and a leader that will deliver. You can find real representation with real results. And a real Tobago woman with real values and real character. Who on every occasion stood in the gap, not only for the people of Tobago East, but for the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
PNM.
And while I've been walking the streets, while I've been climbing the hills, while I've been going through the alleyways, people have been saying to me, Ayanna, we like you, but why the PNM? Ayanna, we trust you, but why the PNM? And I could stand on this platform this evening and tell you the People's National Movement would always be my choice, would always be the party I would choose to govern my children.
PNM.
Because the People's National Movement has always been that solid, stable institution, always placing the people of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago above party, above politics, and above our own desires. The People's National Movement, this faithful institution that took us out of colonialism and built the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. The People's National Movement that gave my father the opportunity to get an education. The People's National Movement that ensured that my mother was able to deliver her children and to deliver them in proper hospitals. The People's National Movement that ensured that when I needed the opportunities to grow and to thrive, the opportunities were made available to me and all the people of Tobago and Trinidad and Tobago. The People's National Movement, while some Tobagonians were saying, we're not ready enough for development, we can't take a highway, we can't take the big buildings, the same PNM that had faith in the island and the people of Tobago and brought development when some Tobagonians refused it. That is why the PNM would always be my institution, my choice, and my children's party of choice.
PNM.
Brothers and sisters, Kamala has been saying that the UNC cares. But brothers and sisters, ask them for their track record of service. Ask them to demonstrate how they really care. I've been listening to their proposed policies, and one of the first things that they said to us, the good, right-thinking people of Trinidad and Tobago, who deserve good government and good governance, was that their way of making the money to ensure they could run the country with their reckless policies and programs that they're proposing is that they're going to wipe out corruption and mismanagement. In my 45 years on this earth, The only government that would have mismanaged the economy, almost carried us down to bankruptcy, was the UNC under Kamla Persad. The only party I know about in my 45 years that almost raped the country and the treasury and leave us bare was one led by Kamla Persad. The only party that I know of in my 45 years that was willing to put aside the dreams and the desires of the young people of Trinidad and Tobago for political expediency was the UNC under Kamla Persad. So they want to tell me, with my good sense, to risk my godchildren, to risk my nephews, to risk my one niece, and to risk my 3 picnic on them and their promises. Brothers and sisters of Tobago East and Tobago West and Trinidad and Tobago, I carried my children for 9 months. I endured labor pains, and I would never place my children into the hands of those who would harm them. And the same passion, the same commitment I have for my 3 children is the same passion and commitment I have for every single boy and girl in Trinidad and Tobago. When my political leader appointed me minister with responsibility for gender and child affairs, he made no mistake. When it comes to the business of our most vulnerable, you see the quiet, reserved, humble young lady that Barbara sent down to Trinidad, when it comes to advocating on behalf of our children, on behalf of our women who have been battered, on behalf of our vulnerable men and boys, the beast comes out. As somebody said to me, Ayanna, when you're ready to advocate, I see a Granny Tayo coming out. And for those of you from Roxborough who knew my grandmother Tayo, she was a short, stocky woman. But despite her short stature, she was a woman with vigor and strength. She was brave enough to go and hustle to mind her children, strong enough to keep her family together, and wise enough to ensure that her sons and her daughters benefit from all the People's National Movement had to deliver to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So when they're asking you what Ayanna do for you, and they're telling you that Ayanna and Shamfa ain't deliver, let me put something on the table. Every time we ensured a boy or a girl in your village got their school books, we did something for you. Every time we bought a hamper for your neighbor, we did something for you. Every time we went out there and ensured that your roads were fixed, your drains were built, we ensured that you got water, and we got you electricity. We did something for you. Tobago, when we get selfish, Tobago, when we get so selfish that you're saying, if you ain't do it for me personally, you ain't do it at all. Tobago, when we get to this place where, unless it was in your pocket directly, you're saying we ain't deliver. When I fed your children and your friends' children, I fed you because it gave you the opportunity to keep some money in your pocket. When Shamfa and I advocated for more water, we brought better quality of life to each and every one of you. So how dare you, Tobago, say the People's National Movement did not deliver? It is the same PNM that gave us the NIS. It's the same PNM that ensured that when you get your income, and if you're earning less than $7,500, you're not paying tax on that. PNM. It's the same PNM that recognized that some of our most vulnerable are struggling because of food prices, that took down VAT to 12.5%. It is the same People's National Movement when they recognize some of our most vulnerable children needed additional support, invested over $1 billion in the child care and protection sector in gender and child affairs alone. And this is the same PNM when they recognize that our borders needed more security. Ensure that in Tobago they gave to us 2 high-speed interceptors. So how are you could say that the PNM did nothing for you? Tobago people, this election is about if you like Ayanna or if you like Shamfa. This election ain't even about Tobago alone. And this election ain't even about Trinidad and Tobago alone. Brothers and sisters, this election is about selecting a captain to captain SS Trinidad and Tobago, to sail us along the journey of development, to ensure that Trinidad and Tobago remains the stable beacon of hope for the rest of CARICOM and the rest of the Caribbean. So when they come in and tell you to give them 2 seats to send down in Trinidad, ask them what 2 seats alone could give we. Because the 2 seats alone can't give we the executive for the government. The 2 seats alone can't give we the majority so that we can get the autonomy in the parliament. And if you take God out of your thoughts and to give them the 2 seats to carry down in Trinidad, all you're guaranteeing and securing for all yourself is 2 backbenchers who, if they get the opportunity to catch the speaker's eye, might get a little 45 minutes on the floor. Or if it's a private member's day, they might get a little play. But if you take your good sense and you place your confidence in Team PNM and you elect Ayanna Webster-Roy in Tobago East and Shamfa Lewis in Tobago West, you're going to guarantee that Tobago forms part of the majority. You are guaranteeing that Tobago gets a seat around the cabinet table. You are guaranteeing that Tobago is part of the decision-making process. So don't take God out of your thoughts and say you want to go and gamble away your 2 seats because of mama guy and old talk. Brothers and sisters, this is serious, serious business. I want you all to understand something. If the UNC wins, all of we stand to lose. If UNC wins, Trinidad and Tobago would face a serious economic decline because they don't have a clue on how to develop policies for good governance or even economic development. If the UNC wins, bet your bottom dollar, all the investment and progress we have made over the years for the little girls and little boys of Trinidad and Tobago, you're going to see a decline. If the UNC wins, all that extra investment coming to Tobago because of the goodwill of the PNM government is going right back down Trinidad, all of that cut out. If the UNC wins, Trinidad and Tobago, we stand to lose our pride. When they had the turn on the Tanticams, she made us a mockery. When they had the turn on the Tanticams, when we thought that having a first female prime minister would have given the girls of Trinidad and Tobago the ability to say that we are no longer confined to child marriages. That didn't happen. As a matter of fact, when we brought that bill to the parliament, Anti-Cams brought persons to the debate against it. And the only reason she supported it in the end, the only reason she gave our daughters and our young sons the ability to live their life without fearing early childhood marriages was because of civil society upcry. Because your MP stood up on the parliament floor and debated. Because all my PNM colleagues stood up on the floor and debated.
PNM, PNM.
Brothers and sisters, if the UNC wins, we all stand to lose. So don't get tied up. This ain't no election about Farley and no Blue Party, because the Blue Party can't form the government. Don't get tied up. This ain't no election about who going to run the assembly, because you can't run THA from central government or parliament.
PNM.
Don't get tied up, brothers and sisters. This isn't about no black jersey or no flambeau. This is about selecting the right captain to sail SS Trinidad and Tobago to a brighter future. Brothers and sisters, when I scan the landscape, the only person I found of merit worthy of Captain SS Trinidad and Tobago forward was Stuart Young. Stuart Young, who got his foundation of learning under our own Prime Minister. The same Stuart Young who, when Tobago needed someone to come and to reassure the villagers of Shallerville that their border security was important. The same Stuart Young who came. The same Stuart Young who placed his confidence in me when I asked him to support the barbershop initiative and to work for the men and young boys of Trinidad who needed a mentor. The same Stuart Young, that able captain with 40 other able seamen and seawomen, we have the skills, the ability, the attitude, and the aptitude to sail SS Trinidad and Tobago to a brighter day. So, brothers and sisters, don't make a mistake. Don't take a gamble. Don't take a chance. Your vote this time is important. If Trinidad and Tobago ever needed a woman to vote red, it's now. If Trinidad and Tobago ever needed a man to vote red, it's now.
PNM.
If our young people, those of you who are first-time voters, if ever we needed you to place your confidence in the red, ready and responsible team, it's now.
PNM.
You can't afford to gamble your future on someone who would have proven in the past that she would never ever place country above a party. As a matter of fact, she said, if you're talking about putting your country over a party, rubbish. You will never hear those words coming out of the mouth of any PNM leader or any PNM representative, because what we place above self, above party, is Trinidad and Tobago. Brothers and sisters of Tobago East, brothers and sisters of Tobago West, brothers and sisters of Trinidad and Tobago, we are writing a new chapter in this beautiful story called the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And as we write this new chapter, I ask you to come along and co-author it with us. I ask you to write this new chapter with Stuart Young as our primary author. But each and every one of you, by your index finger, could become the author of this story we call the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. As we look to the future, to a brighter, better Trinidad and Tobago, those of you who are senior citizens, you could look forward to getting a better quality of life. It is our intention to provide for you the support you require so that your latter years are just as good as your former years. It is our intention that those persons who will be retiring from the public sector, that you would receive your money tax-free. It is our intention to roll out for those of you who are ill and who need additional support in-home health care through online digital means and platforms. It is our intention to support those of you who are 60 plus, who may need to go to the hospital and cannot get there on your own, to ramp up support available through Dial a Ride. My brothers and sisters of Tobago East, 60 and over, as we write this new chapter, we are going to restore your dignity because we care. To the children of Trinidad and Tobago, as you join us on this journey, as you help to imprint your voices on the pages of this story we are writing for the great Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, you could rest assured that for those of you who have learning disabilities, we are going to increase the resources made available through the education sector so you get the support and you get a better fighting chance. To little boys and little girls and my own 3 children who have to face the uncertainty of getting the school books come September, to your mummies and your daddies, I say to you, we will not only increase the number of book grants made available to $30,000, to $30,000 in the sector, but we will also remove value-added tax off of all school books and uniforms, making it easier for you.
PNM.
So little boys and little girls like my own 3 children who face the uncertainty of going to write a CSEC that might not be working to your best advantage. It is our intention through the education sector to review and revamp CSEC, creating a more modern curriculum, making you even more employable and marketable and giving you a more fighting chance. To the little boys and little girls out there who face challenges on a daily basis, who, because of their circumstances, might be facing mental health issues. It is our intention as we sail SS Trinidad and Tobago forward to increase the number of services available for mental health support, not only in our schools, but to also ramp up the resources already available at the Office of the Prime Minister, Gender and Child Affairs. Boys and girls, we care. We care about you. We care about your future. And we are determined that every little boy and little girl in Trinidad and Tobago will have the chance to live their full life, free from violence, free from crime, and free to realize their full potential. To the women out there who might have been battered and bruised, we care. And as we expand the services made available nationally to help those vulnerable women who are victims of gender-based violence, I want you, the women of Tobago, to know that under Captain Stuart Richard Young, those of you in Tobago can look forward to a better quality of support as we expand our reach into the NGO sector in Tobago, providing more resources, not only financial resources, but technical resources, so that you have the opportunity to live your life without being afraid of someone coming to batter you and abuse you. Because we care. And because we care for those vulnerable women in Tobago and in Trinidad, who, while you have to go to work in the public sector, you're wondering who's going to watch the picnic them. You're wondering who's going to care for my child. Because we know sometimes when we're out there trying to earn an honest dollar, we have volunteers preying on our children. And that is why it is part of our commitment as we write this new chapter under Captain Stuart Young. We are going to make available in the public sector more opportunities for nursery and daycare provisions for our working single mothers and single fathers. And to the men of Trinidad and Tobago. We value you. We need you. We respect what you bring to the table. And because we value our men, especially those young boys in those depressed communities who feel as though that they aren't being taken care of, it is our intention through our Spice TT initiative that will be rolled out nationally to touch you by touching your communities, touching your homes, and touching your lives in a positive way. Working with civil society, faith-based organizations, and bringing to you the resources required so that you would not fall prey to the sweet words of a gang leader or a so-called community leader. Through Spice TT, we have earmarked communities such as Golden Lane, Mount St. George, Marabella, Maloney, Enterprise, and the Betham for special focus. But even as we roll out a Women, Peace and Security National Action Plan nationally, I want our young men in particular to know that we hear you, we see you, and we will continue to fight to keep you out of the clutches of those who want to destroy your life. Brothers and sisters of Tobago East, my sister in service said it, elections can only be won on election day. All the fancy speech I could give, or you tell me I mash up rocks, bro, I distress Mount St. George, I create Bacchanal in Shalloville. All this fancy speech can't give us what we deserve, good government and good governance. All the walk about, because trust me, for 10 years, me and my sister, we walk the length and breadth of Tobago until some people call me Big Bird. Brothers and sisters, all the campaigning can't give you what you deserve, good government and good governance, unless you bring out the votes on April 28th. So it is imperative that you use your voice. It is imperative that each and every one of you seated here become an agent for change. It is imperative that we all do what we must do to ensure that the People's National Movement remains the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Remember, I told you, this ain't about the THA. This ain't about the Blue Party. It ain't even about we here in the Red Army. This is about the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago and safeguarding the future for children and safeguarding our position as a leader, not only within the Caribbean and CARICOM, but globally. This is about setting a foundation that will make future generations smile on all of us as Trinbagonians of this time. So I urge you to go out and to convince a neighbor, convince a friend. I urge you to go out and to encourage the undecided to choose the People's National Movement as the vehicle, as the agent to carry Trinbago forward.
PNM.
I urge all of you to use whatever power of persuasion you have. Use your power of persuasion for good. Because if ever we needed a PNM government, is now.
PNM.
If ever we needed a Stuart Young, is now.
PNM.
If ever you needed a Shampa Kojo Lewis, is now.
PNM.
If ever you needed a Foster Cummins, a Dr. Dolly, or anybody on the Red Army team, is now.
PNM.
So I urge you on April 28th, when you get up, you make sure you say your prayers, you do your ablutions. Brothers, put on your Gideon boots and you're starting to march. Sisters, beat your face, but don't let it melt off like mine. Tighten your girdle and go out there early and ram your ex by the balisade. And when you're done, ram your ex by the balisay. Go and bring 20 more persons so they can ram the ex by the balisay. And once you do that, once you bring your 20, Nadine, and Mr. Alexis, once you bring your 20, and Miss Hines, once you bring your 20, and Mr. London, Mr. Canada, once all you bring all your 20, and if my mommy and my daddy and my husband, my friend, and me then bring the 20. Come 7:30, I must be jamming my way down to come to office.
PNM.
And together we will all sing a beautiful song. Great is the PNM.
Great is the
Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. And we shall always prevail.
It's a movement, we all in together. Not just so one, my sister, my brother.
This is a new chapter. Join us on the road to victory. On Tuesday, April 22nd, St. Joseph, the People's National Movement will be having a public meeting at Nyabingi's Bar. We're red, ready, and responsible. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.